Well, hello, everyday goddesses. I'm so happy to have you back here with me. I just want to say hello to all my new subscribers. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here with you, and I just want to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't already, please do. So today I want to do a reading on what is your masculine facing. Now, I know a lot of times we'll do readings, what's blocking union, and that's an important question, and we'll be doing that too. But I wanted to couch the question just a little differently today for a few reasons. One is that sometimes we just have to acknowledge that what the masculine's going through may not have that much to do with us. When we're talking about union, we're definitely talking about the balance between the masculine and feminine, the journey together, how are you moving through that together, but also just kind of laying back and relaxing and realizing, you know what, sometimes people just have their stuff that they're dealing with, they're facing, they're challenging, and to also, on the second point, to have us look at that with a little bit more compassion and a little bit more patience. Sometimes people are facing issues that just take a little time, or they're very heavy for them, and just to really kind of understand that that is also part of what's going on, especially if you're in separation. And that's what separation is often about. If you are in separation at this time, I had this image today of boxers, going back to their corner to take a time out and deal with their own stuff. So that's what we're going to look at today. And we're going to be looking at it in terms of the collective. I think we might do pick a card on this coming up to get a little bit more specific waves or groups of people. But right now, today, we're going to be looking at it as a whole collective unit, the masculine energies as a unit. And you can also look at this in terms of your own inner masculine as well. Some shuffling and getting ready. I also want to invite you guys on the 31st. I'm going to be doing a Kundalini yoga workshop, 2-hour workshop using breath, movement, and chanting. And we're going to be releasing some deep wounds in the heart chakras. So you can come on over to Everyday Goddess 1111 and join me there. These are very powerful workshops and get a lot of energy moving and a nice big injection of divine energy there. All right, so let's see where we're going to start today, okay? All right, so I'm going to start out by saying that this masculine is actually having a little bit of a difficult time keeping things in balance. He's trying to be strategic about his partying and his friendships, but he's kind of using that in a certain way to sort of cover up some of the deeper issues that he needs to be dealing with. Here, the 7 can be strategy, but it can also sort of be a little sneakiness, okay? So, and I'm going to say that sneakiness is in regards to himself. He's kind of not being completely honest with the balance he needs to find between having a good old time and doing some of the deeper work that is coming up for him. He requires some change and creativity in terms of finding a balance in love with you, with his friends, but this is really a calling for him to figure out how to keep his feet on the ground and be more strategic in how he needs to move through life. You know, in the Native Americans talk about the medicine wheel, and they talk about that wheel as having 4 areas. The mind is in the north, the south is the body, the emotions in the west, and the spirit in the east. And to walk the true medicine path is to have these things in a deeper balance. So he needs to find that balance. He really does. He's kind of using, especially coming through the holidays, he's kind of just using sort of partying as a distraction, keeping things light, keeping things easy. But it's not working out so great. Let's go a little further here and see what we've got going on here. Yeah, because he's scared. He's scared of his feelings. He's scared of the depth of what he needs to start exploring. All right, because once he starts taking the scab off those wounds, it's going to be a big deal. So he's been trying to stay over here. Okay, this is, you know, in a positive sense, it's friendship, it's good times, but he's using it to avoid what he's got to face within himself. All right, let's see a little bit about what exactly he needs to face in this. So we're not going to go for those right away. I'm just getting used to these. These, I'm so excited to get these recently. These are made of love. But let's see. What's he scared of? Okay, well, you know, in terms of Aquarian energy, he's afraid of his dreams and his imagination. He's afraid to sort of consider that what he could dream of in his life that would be the best for him could actually come true. And he's afraid that if he actually went forward and started to really move into his highest version of himself, that he would get cut off. This is such an ironic card because I know for a lot of you feminines who feel like you've been ghosted by him. But this to me is also about the fear of rejection that he is contemplating as well. That if he really exposes the deepest parts of himself, that it wouldn't be acceptable. It wouldn't be acceptable to you. It's much easier for him to sort of stay light and be in the good old boy energy because it doesn't risk vulnerability. It doesn't risk the rejection. If he really opens himself into that full vulnerability, you know, maybe you won't like him that much, right? So this is a lot of identity issues coming up. And again, he really needs to sort of find ways that feel comfortable to him to bring that into a little bit more balance. Yeah. Let's go a little further here and see what's happening. Community. See, he's got this again. Wow, this is so funny. Look at this right there. For some of you, there's a little bit of a player thing. These women keep coming out. You know, he's trying to keep it light in his relationships with women. And it's blocking him from his divine connection. The 7th chakra, the crown, is not really completely open because he's sort of hanging out a little bit on a lower level, little 2nd chakra, playing around, flirtations, just trying to keep that light and avoiding the divinity. And it's mainly down in here. This is so interesting to me that he's afraid of being fundamentally rejected by a powerful woman who's a seer, right? Who sees him super, super clearly. And that's often what goes on in the twin relationship especially, and also mate relationships, people to be completely intimate and to be completely connected in a relationship that has depth, you have to be willing to be seen. And this masculine right now, masculine energies are just really afraid to be seen, because they're afraid that, you won't like them very much if you've actually found out who he really was. Yeah, he's playing games, and he's afraid of that judgment and that karmic cycle coming back around. He needs to go on a deeper journey, all right? He needs to stop messing around. He's playing games. He's trying to keep it light, and he's being called by the moon to go in and face his fears. And it's coming to a fruition, all right? This judgment here, along with the strategy and the balance of the pentacles, it's the pressure's on, right? The pressure's on. It's getting time to make that change and to start. See, we've got this 20 here, this number 2. He's got to start facing the duality between the 3D life that he wants to sort of play in, like what are those little pools that children play in, right? They just like to kind of splash around in a wading pool. That's what it is. The difference between that and the depth of really connecting, see over here, going into the depths of the being, connecting to the divinity. So I think, again, coming out of the holidays, there's been a way of just kind of partying through, having a good old time, and trying to pretend that things are not festering the way that they really, really are. So let's have a little bit more guidance for our fella. Okay, see what's going on. This is someone who's scared of facing himself. And that's been a pattern, with a lot of feminines that I'm talking to. A new start is coming, and emotions are running high. So yeah, it's getting to be intolerable. He's starting to become more aware that the pressure of these two things are facing each other, that this game of playing it light, playing it easy, is not working out. And he knows that he needs this new start. He needs to have a new start. He has to find ways to sort of balance joy and pleasure in the world, but not using it as a way to strategically avoid the depths, right? Not to use it as a way to sort of play games and avoid facing his karma, facing all the issues that need to come up to the surface, facing going deep, facing his divinity. So this emotions running high is sort of telling me that deep inside, and might just even be his superconscious, he's not having such a good time with it. It might look that way on the surface. Like if you're looking at his social media, he might be looking like he's having a good old time and he's hanging out with his friends, but there's something much deeper going on. Things are starting to bubble up to the surface with him. Look at all this purple in here. He's really up against opening up those upper chakras, right? Over here, we've got a lot of lower chakra energy. That's good energy, it's power, but it's got to start coming up through the upper dimensions of his being. And this is the yellow color of this is, he's afraid of your power, that second chakra connection. You might want to, if you're the kind of feminine that's doing 5D healing work, I'm going to focus on the third chakra a little bit. Focus on your third chakra connection, getting that really healthily connected, because this is a little bit about the triggers between the two of you, right? He's a little triggered by the power and the fact that he thinks that he could be rejected by you if he opens up and becomes a more vulnerable human being. All right? So, Divine Feminine, let's just take a little bit, let's finish this out with a little bit of guidance for you. All right? Because the question then becomes, what do I do about all that? Some of it is just letting that person have that space. Working in the third chakra, I think right now would be really helpful for you in your connection. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Hand it over. That's what you're being told to do. Spend some time in meditation, going in, contacting your guides. If you've never done that before, just kind of trust and get a sense of divine beings that are around you. And spend some time holding your masculine in this beautiful light. Spend a little time wrapping them around in a golden light and then this purple light, finding balance between the two. And then ask the divine beings and his guides and his higher beings to manage this healing for him. Just roll it over. Try and let go a little bit and just hand it over to the divine energies. Trust that that healing will be done in the perfect timing, all right? I want to be clear that we're not talking about doing voodoo. Always ask the divine beings, his guides, the divine beings that he's connected to, if that healing can be monitored and, guided by them, held by them, and just hand that over for a little while. Send these intentions out. You can spend time in meditation, 5D meditation with your masculine, letting him know that if you are vulnerable and open yourself up to me, this isn't going to happen. I'm not going to ghost you. I'm not going to ghost you. It's the male ego. So frightened of being seen. So just send that message out when you're in meditation. And as far as his balance and his finding his way, it's not really for you to be micromanaging that, okay? Just hand it over to the powers that be for now. Okay. Divine Feminines and Everyday Goddesses, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later this week, and I do hope to see you on the 31st. If you'd like a private reading, I would love to meet with you. Again, go over to Everyday Goddess 1111, and I'll see you there. Bye now.